So before we get into it, let me just chop down these bushes and build a welcome sign, because this is what allows villagers to come and live in your village. You don't know there's a village here without a welcome sign. So Desktopia is a city builder at heart. It has all the usual features, buildings and interactions with villagers, but what it also has is your own personal RPG-esque style character who's got an axe for chopping stuff and attacking things, and a water pistol. Water pistol is a strange choice in a world of guns, but you're a lover, not a fighter, a builder, not a fighter, and a water pistol is great for putting out fires. So here we go, we've got some villagers moved in now. And we can have a look at these guys. They're both serfs and they're both unhappy. And that's because we don't really have anything in our village at the moment to make them happy. They could be more unhappy, but here we go. Let's go and see. Let's go and harvest some more bushes and make some gold. Now they'll harvest the bushes that they're next to. This is the monster grove. These are ferocious bunny rabbits. There we go, just harvest some bushes. And you can harvest bushes with your water pistol, but you can't kill enemies with water pistol, they just don't care. Actually, that's not true, you can kill some enemies with a water pistol. In later levels, there's fire enemies. Here we go, so now we can build something. So I'm going to build a chicken coop, because food is good, it encourages more villagers to move in, and I like the chickens. So here we go, this guy's left a gift for me, so if we can bring up the log. Here we go. And before I get into the log and everything, Desktopia is designed to be used alongside other things. It's positioned at the bottom here, and these windows are all optional, so you can watch your favourite show or browse the internet. And we've added some features to help make that easier. So the first one is an on top button. So as you saw, my internet was covering up, or my browser was getting covered up, covering up the window, but now Desktopia is always on top. We've added this to the main screen because we thought you might want to toggle between it. And the second one is Resize. So Resize just chops the top 48 pixels off the screen without actually shrinking anything. And then another 48, and then another 48, and it just leaves the main road really. So if you're doing something important, like if you're watching a movie or you're doing an essay and you've got lots of windows open, you might just want to see the main road and not all the extra stuff that goes with it. Let me just put it back to normal because we're not doing anything else at the moment. And here we go, we've got more villagers moving in, and let's have a look at them. So we've got a stats. This is the overall villager. They're full of food, and their happiness has increased slightly. This guy slightly less, and yeah, so we've got some happy people, some fine people, and some underwhelmed people. Well, that's reasonable. We've got enough money to build something else now because the village have been chopping down things. Now I'm going to build a wine press, and I'm going to do this because it doubles, well, it adds 5 gold to the amount of bushes harvest. At the moment they provide 5, but now they'll provide 10. And I like the berry harvester, she's cute. I like the little hat. And the town continues to expand now. At the moment we're just building things from tier 1. To build tier 2 things we need to build a woodcutter, and each of these end buildings allows you to build the next tier. And there's 8 tiers. Not that we can get to those on this first level. You have to get to at least level 6 before you unlock the later tiers. And here we go. Oh, so the log. This is me. But anything that happens in our village we can click on and we can go straight to it. So Rogan Surf, or a creature left its grove. So at the moment that's just bunny rabbits or a fox. On later levels that becomes much scarier things. Now the way Desktopia works is you build along this road and you encounter things like the monster grove, which can be countered by a hunter. And you keep building and you keep building until you get to the end, or until you beat the stronghold boss, which is the person lurking at the end. And as you see, it's a huge road, so you've got plenty of time and plenty of room to build up a military. There she is. She's pretty scary, so I'm not gonna... and she will send... she had a spider there, but she can also summon vampires and skeletons, and she will send them to attack as your village grows. And the more you do on this road, the angrier she'll get. And she's just a level 1 boss. There's 12 levels, and the second boss is the Blood King. He rules the fairy realms, and it gets a little bit more exciting. The bosses get a little bit more exciting as you go further on. All kinds of interesting things. So we've got some more money. So let's have a look at our stats. At the moment we've got full luxuries because the wine press provides some luxuries as well. And we haven't got any protection, so I'm going to build a barracks. I'm going to collect this. This is a gratitude orb. I'll talk about these in a moment. This is the barracks. So what a barracks does is the barracks builds, and then every so often, as your village grows, it expands with a guard post. Now it popped up with 2 because our village is already quite big, and each one of these produces a soldier, and these protect your village. They lurk on the edge of your village until they have some courage to move on, and then they'll go and they'll attack the stronghold boss, and they'll die, and they'll respawn back at their starting point. Soldiers love dying. They get a positive modifier for dying. So you see here they have fulfilled needs and a new home. He's cold, so he's not happy. That's the weather modifier. But guards, when they die, they get a plus modifier. They died valiantly in battle, so they're happy. And now normal citizens, if they die, they get grumpy. They don't like to die, obviously. Now that's interesting. We've got a noble, so this house has become noble. The village has upgraded slightly, so he's happy. And he drops some gratitude because he's super happy about becoming noble. So he gets 21 bonus points. That ticks down over time. And so these are gratitude orbs. When villagers are happy, they drop gratitude. You can collect them, and they do a variety of things. The first thing they do is festivals. Once you collect 15 for the first festival, you can throw a festival. And these make all your villagers happy, and they provide a need. So, for example, the gifting festival provides luxuries, religious, and so on. And they're really useful for if you've got a grumpy village or there's a particular need you're having trouble fulfilling. So we're getting close to the monster grove, and my soldiers are getting caught up fighting bunny rabbits when they shouldn't be, so I'm going to build a hunter. And there she is. Now she'll just position herself somewhere around here, and she'll shoot the bushes and kill anything that comes out, so she's a good little harvester too. And as we go back to the village, we'll see our villagers harvesting the bushes, and they visit places as well. So you can see this guy, he visited the town outpost, paid some money. Next I'm going to build the woodcutter, and then we'll get some things from the next tier, because our town's getting quite big now, and we're going to need some religion, and we're probably going to need... so on the second row we've got a fire marshal. He helps out fires. If you can't be bothered running back and forth your village shooting them with a water pistol, which you might not want to once the village gets huge, or if you're watching a program. An alchemist, there's diseases. No one's going to catch any diseases this early on level 1, but it also provides religion, which is handy. A powdersmith, which begins to upgrade your soldiers. So soldiers don't always say these sword-wielding, hammer-wielding guys. If you build a powdersmith, they have a chance of becoming musketmen. Not all of them. And then later a rifle range, and they can become riflemen. And further on past that, you get troopers when they become, well, fancy laser rifle people. This is not for a while, obviously. We're going to mostly have swordsmen and hammermen on this first level. I will build a powdersmith, because when you build a powdersmith, you get one tough riflemen. Now, soldiers aren't very good on their own. They walk very slowly down the road, but they can be encouraged along by heroes. Now, the first hero is One Punch Pete, and he's not available until we get to tier 3, so we're a long way off him, yeah. But heroes are great, actually. We get some really fun ones. Glodwin the Golden, Lady Digitalis, the Plague Doctor. He's pretty cool because he lessens the negative effects of diseases. And then we've got really advanced ones further on. Robots. It's pretty fun. Right. 9 gratitude. So we're not quite ready to throw a festival or anything yet. Other things you can do with gratitude. So these 4 buttons here. You've got War Cry, and War Cry is to do with your soldiers and heroes. So, spiders attacking. War Cry summons all your soldiers and heroes that are currently alive or not inside or not with a disease, and they'll run to you. And this is really good for if you're attacking a stronghold boss early. If you don't want to wait until the end of the map, you want to get rid of them to minimize these attacks or to earn a bit of money from defeating them. You can summon all your people to you using War Cry. Now, I'm not going to do it because I'm saving it for festival, but they all just run towards you. At the moment, the enemies are coming in piecemeal, but later they'll come in groups, and if they get to your town, they'll start burning down your houses and your villages. Gift. That's not good. Now, everyone's starting to leave gratitude because people are happy. What have we got? We've got a lot of happy people, some fine people, and only a few that are underwhelmed. So here we go. I'm going to build the woodcutter next. And as you see, the prices go up as you build, so it's actually cheaper to buy tier 2 than it is to buy tier 1 now. And this carries on throughout. It's a form of inflation. Village income is important because when you complete a level, you get to take 10% of your village's average income, which you're then gifted the beginning of every day. Sorry, I'm drinking tea. Okay, so 14 gratitude, which is nearly enough to throw a festival. I'm going to throw a religious festival, maybe? Well, let's build an alchemist, because then we'll get some religion. He doesn't provide a lot of religion, but some. And we'll throw let's throw a Festival of Town Pride. Infrastructure festival. We don't have any infrastructure. I could build a trading post. Trading posts are really good, actually, because they provide quite a lot of money when villagers visit them. And they also provide infrastructure. And here we go. Infrastructure is full because we're having a sort of book festival. And people are going to get very happy over the next 24 hours in-game. Every few hours they'll get a bonus that totals to around 30, and then it takes days for them to all tick down. And our village is cute. It's got bunting and hanging books and things, and each festival is unique. There we go. Now, as you can see, our village is getting quite big. Another guard post spawned, so we have another guard now. He'll have just gone to join these guys. Chopping down some bushes to earn some money. Now, there are a lot of ways we could go here. I could build a blacksmith for luxuries or a post office. Now, post office is... I've been running back and forth collecting my own gratitude, but if you build a post office, the postman will run back and forth and collect it all for you, which is really handy, if you're idling especially. And speaking of idling, there is a difficulty settings. So here is the help menu. It's got all the things you need to know I'm telling you here, but it also has a difficulty setting, and it starts on standard. Making it easier just lessens enemy spawns. Now that probably doesn't seem like it does much on this level, as the spawns are quite low anyway, but on later levels, lowering enemy spawns makes the game a lot easier. Making it harder increases them, along with increasing the risk of fires. Really unhappy villagers will strike more on harder difficulties, and striking villagers will steal from the village. They will set fires, and they might even die of unhappiness. But on idle mode, it's much easier. Villagers are much less likely to go and strike. Enemy spawns are rare, and their attacks are fairly weak. Buildings cost slightly more, but it all works out at the same time because you're not doing other things. And it's just a way to play if you don't want to actually do anything, if you just want to watch a village grow. So we're not just getting bunnies now, we're getting deer. So it's only animals on this level. I think wild boars, or maybe not. Maybe there's dinosaurs that come out on this level, big lizards. And here we go, our soldiers, they still have a long way to go before they get to the stronghold boss. But it's good that they're out there, because them being out there allows them to stop any waves before they reach the village. And then if they die, they manage to get to the village edge before the wave reaches the town. Here we go. So the Dark Priestess summons monsters from the crypt, just 3 spiders. And she's got a choice of spiders, skeletons and vampires on this level, and spiders are the weakest. So our soldiers should handle these. Now if she'd spawned 3 vampires, we might have been a different story. Our 4 soldiers might have had some trouble. But that's unlikely. Everything's going quiet. I'm going to walk back down the village to look for gratitude. So Warcry. Only got to Warcry. Warcry summons all your soldiers. Pap Talk rids any villagers of negative influence. So using Pap Talk, I'll summon all my villagers to me, and any of the negative things they've got, like stagnation here, or if buildings burn down especially is bad, they get really negative for that. Or if a child dies, there's really bad for that. Well, a pep talk relieves them of these negative effects. So that's really handy. The reason there's stagnation is because our village hasn't grown. You get 1 per day where nothing happens in your village. Not on idle mode, but here. But it's okay because I was saving up. What should we build next? Some fun. So we could build a tavern, but because I didn't early on, I'm almost reticent to do so, and I'm going to wait and build an inn maybe, which is better. I could build a Powdersmith. No, we're not really having any trouble with the enemies. A blacksmith's good because it provides luxuries, but we've already got quite a lot of luxuries coming in from the wine press. Maybe I'll just build the... I think I'll just build the mine. And so this will open up tier 3 for me, and then I've got a choice. I've got a choice for things. I've got a banker. Now a banker earns 1 gold a turn, 1 gold a second, so your gold starts to tick up quicker. A castle hires 2 knights to help fight alongside your soldiers, pretty cool. A temple is obviously high religion, but also provides a sorceress who goes along with your soldiers, and she's one of the first powerful ranged troops you get. 1 pump HP. The Monster Hunter. So the Monster Hunter is like the Hunter, but better. Not really needed for this level, but when you start getting later on and monsters start coming out of the groves rather than animals, she's very important, especially as it's often in the middle of your village, although not always. The monster grove is on a different place on each level. And then there's the Grand Huntress, so she's only really needed for the last few levels. She's insanely good. And then there's the inn and the stonemason, but we can't build the stonemason because we're only on level 1. So we need 1,000 gold before we can do anything else. Let's see if there's any gratitude. Now, we've already had one festival, so the next festival is going to cost 30 gratitude, which is a lot. It's often better, especially on later levels, to save the festival for when something bad happens. For when something bad happens, not if. If a village attack happens and 3 or 4 houses get burnt down. Oh, we have a fire and a wild boar. So if I click on the fire, show me where it is. It's right at the beginning. So I'll run down and out loud with my water pistol, as we don't have anyone else. Now what I could do is I could call a wisp. Now, I think I will. I think I'll pop a wisp by here. A wisp, you play your flute and a wisp comes out. It's this little blue thing. And it does a variety of things. First of all, it is a water-based attacker, so it outfires. It also kills tunnelers. Now, we haven't seen any tunnelers yet. Tunnelers, these little creatures that burrow into your village at night and give your villagers diseases, which is bad. But these guys kill tunnelers really quickly, so having a few of these positioned around your village is pretty cool. You can use them for other things. You can use them for distracting enemies. If your soldiers are in a particularly harsh fight, you can drop one on the other side of the enemies, and the enemies will get a bit confused. Or you could drop one here, and it would just harvest these bushes when the bushes respawns. It's a way of making money. And Pied Pipe, well, Pied Pipe is, if you ever heard the Pied Piper of Hamelin, who just got rid of all the rats. Well, when you play your pipe in town, it lessens the chance of tunnelers emerging, as does any form of music. So later on, when you build the radio station, that does the same thing, lowers, well, they stack. So, and as levels get on, tunnelers become more and more of an issue. Let's see, what did you summon this time? Oh, more diverse bunch. So we've got a vampire, a skeleton, and a spider. Let's go. It's a little sprite to get a little wisp going on with its bush harvesting. And we have a child. Child was born, so that'll make our serfs happy. They like that. Child born. Plus, now everyone's happy in our village, which is nice, and as it should be. We're only on the first level. So I could join in. At the moment I could probably defeat these 3 by myself, as we're on level 1 and these guys are fairly weak, but it's probably not a good habit to get into. As the game goes on, the enemies get more fierce, as do your soldiers, and there we go, the vampire's given up a fight, but nope, he didn't manage to kill any of our soldiers. Good. However, the healths will have gone down, and this is important because, here we go, they don't heal naturally over time. You need an alchemist or a hospital. So an alchemist puts them up very slightly, but a hospital increases their healing rate dramatically. And we can't have a hospital on this level, so I have to stick with an alchemist. A temple also increases their healing rate slightly, and a church more so. Now we're getting closer to their first attack on the stronghold leader. She's she's really tough. I'm not going to stand a chance against this. I'm going to head back to the village, see if I've got any more gratitude, and maybe build something else. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what our serfs want. So they want some fun. Let's build an inn. Inns are cool. They slightly lower the chance of tunnelers coming as well, and as our village is growing and we're making more and more noise up here, tunnelers are more likely to take an interest. And diseased villages are not happy villages, and if a villager who is all the way down here gets a disease, they've got to walk sickly all the way to the alchemist or the nearest hospital, so they'll go to the nearest hospital or alchemist. Now that stutter there is because I have the surfs window open. If you play with the surfs window open, it will stutter. There's a lot of information being constantly updated here. It's a great window, but when it updates, it causes a jump. There we go, we've got enough for a second tier building, so I'm going to build a Powdersmith, because ideally we'd like some of the outposts, and it's random at Powdersmith, whether they spawn, some of the outposts that are to come, to spawn musketmen. It'll just make killing the boss a bit easier, but it is random, it's 1 in 3 chance. And once you build a rifle range, all your soldiers upgrade to riflemen. No more swordsmen or axemen. If you want melee units, you have to either hire knights or go for some of the melee heroes like Lady Digitalis or One Punch Pete, Clodwin the Golden. So we've got more people becoming noble, which is good. It's good because they pay more to visit places. When they go to the chicken coop, for example, they buy more eggs because they're noble and you earn more money. However, they do have increased needs. So nobles tend to require more luxuries than your average serf. And noble is the second of 4 upgrades a serf can go through. So he starts as a serf and then becomes a noble, and then he becomes an industrialist, and they get little top hats and guns, and the guys and the ladies get fantastic dresses and attack fans. And then the last one is cyberists. So once you're building these kind of neon structures like Plings and the radio station, you get these kind of like cyber people who wear old school 3D glasses with the red and the yellow. They're really fun. So our Powdersmith, he's gone off to join these soldiers. We've got quite a little group growing. Now I'm going to spend some of this, is cheap compared to everything else now, so I'm going to buy another wine press, and I'm going to do that. So now all the bushes are worth 15 gold, and we start to get our income starts to increase, because while inflation's starting to increase, we need to speed things up. Well, I think I've pretty much about covered everything. Obviously there's a save and autosaves, which I'm going to save now. And then I'm just going to load one of my other test saves. So all the windows shut. And here we go. Let's see. Fire down the end again. As you can see, the houses are different, the factories are different. We've got a lot going on here. This is a tunneler, so he's tunneled up. He was one of the weaker ones. There's 2 types of tunnelers, one that give your villagers black rot, and one that give your villagers gold rot, black fog, gold rot. And black fog can just be cured at an alchemist, but gold rot requires more of an intervention at a hospital. And here we go, see that other things are unlocked. And oh, this is quite a frightening level, I think. This is the... yeah, so here we go. We've got riflemen and they're fighting against demons, and this is it's a lot harder to keep these guys at bay. As you can see, they're ranged creatures, and they will kill your troops, and they will come to your village, and they will try and burn it down. So maybe I'd build a hero. Glodwin the Golden. While ranged units trump at later levels, they are better. Having melee heroes to run in and tank the enemy as well, everyone just shoots them, is super helpful. So this level is longer than the first level. The first level is fairly long, but this level's longer, and this enemy's scarier, and everything about it is just more difficult. And this is only level 4. We still can't get these top tier things. Here's our serfs. And you can see we've got industrialists and cyberists. Loads of musketmen. Though most of them were dead from that battle, I assume. There we go, they're all massing back on the border to keep everyone safe. Now, Glodwin, you can see he's going off ahead, and the soldiers, they look for heroes ahead, and they'll join him. So things move along faster once you've got a hero. Anyway, that's about it. We launch on the 11th, which is in about a week. And we're very excited. It's we've had a lot of fun making this, and lots of fun making it, actually, because we get to write our code or do our artwork all while the game is playing down the bottom, which is a new experience. Normally you have to have everything. If you're testing a game, you have to have it full screen, but not here, not at all. This game is designed so you don't have to have it full screen, and that's made testing it a lot of fun. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and goodbye.